Hi, this is Concepcion Godev from the Department of Languages and Cultural Studies at the University of North Carolina at Charlotte, North Carolina, USA. Thank you for tuning in. The work that I'm presenting today is part of a larger project that was developed over 3 years by a team of some 25 people. Measuring cognitive effort is not within the scope of the present study, but its role is relevant to understanding that time measurements, as reported by instructors in this and other studies, offer limited insight on how blended instruction, as opposed to traditional instruction, may impact instructors' workload beyond the mere logistics of the time allocated to the different tasks. Cognitive effort is a multifaceted psychology construct that depends on a number of factors, such as practicing the task at hand, perceived difficulty of a task, cognitive ability, and conscientiousness. Instructors who believe that online teaching requires more effort, and even those who report more time commitment, may in fact have experienced that this kind of teaching demands a more intense level of cognitive activity. In the present study, the term time is used to refer to time on task. The present study's approach to analyzing instructors' time allocation departs from previous ones in that it does not present a comparison between time logs associated with a traditional course and a parallel blended course. The data collection was approached by taking as a reference the time frame of 135 hours per semester, which is the amount of time that traditional first semester Spanish instructors put into teaching one course in any given semester. The data was collected in spring 2010. 3 instructors participated in the data collection. One instructor was a full-time lecturer, and she also was the coordinator of the first semester Spanish program. Another instructor was teaching part-time, and the third instructor was a tenured faculty member. The instruments used to keep track of non-grading events that happened outside of class were 2 logs where instructors had to enter a check every time an event occurred. These logs were submitted to the researcher every week. The calculation of the time estimates is described later in the analysis section. From the outset, it was realized that a sizable component of the instructor's time allocation was the time spent on grading, and that this amount of time would double in the blended course, enrolling twice the number of students of a traditional course. Therefore, adjustments were made to the number of pieces that instructors would have to grade. The details of these adjustments are provided in the analysis section. The adjustments to the number of graded pieces in the blended course were made by calculating the time necessary to grade the different pieces. This calculation was made by timing the grading of the specific pieces for half of the class and dividing it by the number of students, thereby obtaining the average amount of time to grade one piece. By eliminating 8 of the pieces that used to be graded in the traditional course, grading time was kept at the same level in the blended course as in the traditional course. In order to keep track of the non-grading activities, instructors were asked to use a log where they needed to mark with a check the occurrence of the following 8 types of events. 1. Checking students' progress with their online work. 2. Emailing students about their progress. 3. Phone counseling. 4. Face-to-face counseling. 5. Reading emails from students. 6. Responding to students' emails. 7. Reading students' postings. And 8. Writing postings. Instructors did not need to log in time. The time for each event was estimated by calculating average length of written communication, average writing speed, average reading speed, and average counseling time. The calculations were made by assuming a reading speed of 225 words per minute and a typing speed of 40 words per minute, and the average length of each email and posting was calculated at 50 words. The results showed that instructors needed to allocate an average of 33.99 minutes per student per semester to tasks that occurred outside of class and did not involve grading. Therefore, instructors actually spent some 34 hours per course to attend to out-of-class tasks that did not involve grading. The largest number of emails occurred during the first 2 and last 2 weeks of classes. This result is consistent with similar findings reported in another study. The time allocation breakdown per course per semester turned out to be as follows: 50 hours of grading, 34 hours of out-of-class tasks, 18 hours of face-to-face instruction, and 27 hours of class preparation. Therefore, instructors spent some 129 hours to manage all the tasks involved in teaching a blended course. This result leads to conclude that the blended first semester Spanish course could be taught within the traditional course time frame of 135 hours. What is not apparent from these results is information about instructors' amount of effort. Nevertheless, a mere look at the tasks that instructors needed to perform in 4 different virtual spaces can provide a hint that instructors may have had to engage in rapid task switching that may have contributed to increasing fatigue and diminishing stamina. Another aspect of blended teaching that is not readily visible in this study is the need to build in periodical training so that instructors learn how to navigate 4 virtual spaces that are not fully integrated. That is, the e-materials, the Moodle space that instructors use to communicate with their classes, the email system, and the Moodle space that instructors use to communicate with their coordinator. The factors related to effort and periodical training have led to redefining instructors' time dedication and compensation at UNCC. Currently, instructors teaching blended first semester Spanish courses enrolling 60 students are compensated for 180 hours per semester. I'd like to conclude by saying that future studies will have to examine the expanded and more critical roles of the coordinator of blended foreign language courses. Thank you very much for listening.